Yo, what's going on, guys? It's AjaLuck. By the way, I have a code. It's called AjaLuck. You should probably use it because it helps me, and that's cool. Hashtag ad because I have to say that now. And yeah, and we're gonna be doing another tutorial video because it helps a lot of people, and that's cool. And it gets me views, which helps the channel, and that's good. In today's creative tutorial, I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a reset builds button. So without further ado, load into a creative, launch. Yeah. Okay, so once you made it to your beautiful hub, basically what you want to do is just go into your island. And I assume you guys already have this done, but obviously for this to work, you need a little 1v1 spot. So literally just place 2 stairs and yeah, that's it. Here, I'll make it a little nicer. I'll add some spawn pads. So once you added your beautiful spawn pads, let's get right into the tutorial. So basically, first thing you want to do is go to this button. It's called the conditional button. You're going to want to throw that down. And just place the conditional button. This is going to be the button that you're going to press to reset your build. Place it wherever you want. I think that's a good spot, you know. So once you've done that, you can change the settings. You can change the color to whatever you want. I'm going to use orange. It just changes the back. It doesn't actually do anything. Interaction text, this is just what it's going to say, like when you press the button. I'm going to do a reset. You can have it say whatever you want. You can have it say skadonkalonk if you want to. It just looks clean if it says reset. Display main icon, this is just a picture. Again, it doesn't do anything. I like the recycle one. It looks like that. It looks kind of cool. Show key item, you want to turn that on no. Consume key items, make sure that's on no. That's very important. And finally, when activated, transmit on channel 1. So yeah, once you're done with that, you're already done with your button. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty simple. But it is not over. Oh no, there is a lot more to do. Next thing you're gonna want to do is fly somewhere to your map where it's either just very far where you can't see it, or behind a hill where you literally cannot see it. I do mine behind a hill so you can't see it and it doesn't look ugly. The reason why you want to do it somewhere where you can't see it is because we're going to do a lot of things with devices and you don't want that to be seen in your map because it looks ugly. So basically just extend out of the mountain until you can do a straight line like this, you know, a straight line, nothing's in the way, there's no mountains or anything. So this is going to be kind of hard to explain to you guys since you guys don't know how this works yet, but that little button that resets, you don't have infinite resets. If you want, for example, if you want to be able to reset your builds 20 times, then you're going to have to put 20 triggers and 20 explosive devices. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. If you want to be able to reset your builds 50 times because you 1v1 for a very long time, then you're going to have to do 50 triggers and 50 explosive devices. So basically, the more times you want to be able to reset your builds, the more work you're going to have to put in. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm only going to have like 7 triggers, which is why I only have a small T. I only have 1 tile extended on each side. But if you're going to do a lot, like for example 20 resets, then you might want to extend it a little bit more. So since I'm only going to do 7 for this tutorial, that's why I have such a small T. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is grab a music sequencer. That's going to be in devices right here. It's actually called sequencer now. It's not even called a music sequencer, but it looks like this. Select it and go right at the middle of your T and add another one, like so it looks like a cross kind of, and right there place the sequencer. It might get messed up on the first try though. So see how when you place it, it goes that way? You don't want it to go that way. You want it to go that way, like into the T, if that makes sense. So just break it and place it in a different direction like this. There you go. Now it's into the T, but you don't want it to go past the side tiles that you have. So you're gonna want to change the length to 1 because right now it's at 4. So actually it's not called 1, it's called normal. I'm sorry. So change the length to normal and now it should look like this. And since I'm only going to place a little bit of triggers for this tutorial, that's 1, 2, 3 tiles. So I'm going to change the width to 3 and it should cover the whole like T thingy, if you guys know what I mean. Alright, let me just explain to you guys the settings on the sequencer first. The tempo, that's just how fast this line goes. Basically, you're going to want to put that at max. It doesn't actually affect that much. It's just like how much there is a delay of pressing the button and your build's actually exploding. It doesn't actually matter that much, but the faster the better. So, but yeah, that's it. There's only going to be one last setting, which is this one. It's called start sequence when receiving from. And you're going to want to put that on channel 1. So basically what that's going to do is when you press that button over here, it's going to activate this thingy. Alright, next thing you want to do is grab the trigger device. It looks like this. Grab it and just throw it down. It might get placed like in the wall, so to avoid that, just put drops on, and to make it easier, put grid snap on 4, so you can place them like this. And it's like, you know, they're not touching each other. Well, they are touching, but they're not like interlocking, and I think you get what I mean. So because I'm only going to do 7 resets, I'm going to do 7 triggers. So since I'm going to do 7, we're going to place 7 triggers. But don't place 7 triggers just yet. What we're going to do is do the settings for it, and then copy and paste that so the settings are already done for us, if that makes sense. So basically, you're going to want to go to your first trigger and copy these settings that I'm doing. By the way, I'm skipping all these settings. If I skip settings, it means don't mess with them. They're already done for you. You don't have to change it. Trigger sound, make sure that's on disable. Trigger VFX, also make sure that's on disable. Visible during game, you can turn it off if you want to. but it doesn't matter too much because it's behind a hill. You can't even see it, so I'll just keep it on yes. And the settings might look complicated once you get down here and it says like no channel, like reset enabled, like it looks all complicated. We're not going to mess with any of them except for the very last one. The very last one is called one trigger transmit on. Now because channel 1 is already taken by the relationship between pressing the button and transmitting to the music sequencer, we can't use channel 1, so we're going to have to skip over to channel 2. So for your first trigger, we're not going to put it on channel 1, we're going to put it on channel 2. So this very last setting, put it on channel 2, just like that. So now for the sake of this tutorial, since I'm only doing 7 resets, I'm going to place 7 of these, or 6 more of these triggers. So that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, and that's 62.5. Now once you have your 7 triggers, make sure you're paying attention. So everybody make sure you have your big brain hats on because it's going to get a little complicated, and if you don't pay attention right now and you ask for help in the comments, which I'll be glad to help, it's completely fine. If you need help, just ask in the comments. But if you're not paying attention right now and you ask in the comments, it's going to be harder to explain to you in words and in text in the comment section rather than just showing you. So just make sure you're paying attention right here. So for the first trigger, there was a setting that we skipped. It was called transmit every X triggers. That's actually a very important setting, but it was already on 1, so we didn't need to change it. So for the first trigger, X triggers is going to be on 1. For the second trigger, X triggers is going to be on 2. And then for the third one, X triggers is going to be on 3. I'm pretty sure you get it, but I'm not going to go that far yet because we're kind of skipping something. So for the second one, X triggers is on 2, right? Pretty easy to remember, you know, it's the same as what trigger it is in line. But the setting at the very bottom, the setting one trigger transmit on is not going to be on channel 2 anymore, it's going to be on channel 3. So basically it's like adding 1 to the trigger that we're working with. So we're working with the second trigger, just add 1 number. That'll be channel 3. So that's how the first one should look. The first one should say a 2. The second one should say a 3. Again, if you guys are confused on why the first one doesn't say 1, it's because the relationship in channel 1 was already taken between the button and the sequencer. And now we're going to work on the third trigger. So the third trigger has X triggers on 3. And then the very last setting is going to be one trigger transmit on channel 4. So it should look like this. Hopefully I'm explaining it good enough. Now we're going to work on the fourth trigger. So X triggers is going to be on 4. And then the very last one, +1, channel 5. Do you guys get it? I think you guys get it. It should be in a sequential order, as you can see, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5. Just in case you have a lot of triggers and you don't want to count every single time and you get lost on what trigger you're working on, just look on the last trigger you worked on. See how it says channel 5? That doesn't mean it's the 5th trigger. It's actually one less. It's the 4th trigger, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which actually means that the one after is actually the 5th one, and then X triggers will be on 5. And then the last one would be on channel 6. So this is the 6th one, so I put X triggers on 6, and then I put this on 7, and then the last one, this is the 7th trigger, so I put X triggers, sorry I skipped it, I put X triggers on 7, and then the very last one I put on 8. There we go, we did it. So as you guys can see, the last one does say 8, even though we only have 7. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but that's because we needed to use channel 1 for the relationship between pressing the button and activating the music sequencer. I hope you guys understand. So for the bombs, you're going to want to go to devices and find this. It's called an explosive device. It looks just like this. So because, again, I told you for the sake of this video, I'm only doing 7 resets, we're also going to do 7 barrels, just like we did 7 triggers. Again, you could do as much as you want. You could do 15, you could do 62.5. It doesn't matter, but again, for the sake of this video, just an example, I'm doing 7. So you're just going to want to throw your little device, and I'll tell you the settings you're going to need. Go to customize, blast radius, you want to put that at the maximum. As of now, the maximum is at 5. Player damage, you want to have that on off so you don't die. Structure damage, I'm pretty sure 150 is enough, but just put it at 5,000 just to make sure everything explodes. Knockback, make sure that's on off. Play audio / VFX, put that on no. Visible during games, also put that on no. And then collision during games, also put that on no. Except it's not called no, it's called off. And then way down here is another one, it says play audio, also put that on no. And now it's the channels. So these last 3, we're not going to mess with. It's the first one, it's called explode when receiving from. That's the one that we're going to change. So again, we're not going to put it on channel 1, even though it's the first barrel. We're not going to put it on channel 1 because again, this took channel 1. Explode when receiving from is going to be on channel 2. So the first trigger will activate the first bomb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So now that you did all your 7 bombs, this is going to be your first bomb. The first bomb is going to have the setting... There it is. The first bomb is going to have the setting explode when receiving from on channel 2. The second bomb is going to have explode when receiving from on channel 3. So it's like one channel up from which bomb it is. So this is going to be the third bomb, which obviously means explode when receiving from is going to be on channel 4. You guys get it? I'm going to do that for all the other ones. This is the 6th bomb I'm working on, so explode when receiving from is going to be on 7. And then the last bomb, which is the 7th bomb, is going to have explode when receiving from on channel 8. So even though the last one says 8, you still only have 7 bombs because again, we skipped channel 1. So once you're done with that, as long as you have the same settings, player damage on 0, blah blah blah, everything I told you what to do, you're basically done. There's just one last thing you have to do, and it's to do with the button. I know I told you you're done with all the settings in the button, and technically you are. There's just one very easy thing you have to do. So if you're doing this on an already made 1v1 map, then you probably already have one of these. It's called the team settings and inventory. This decides what guns you're going to spawn with in your 1v1. So for example, I want to spawn with a blue AR and a purple pump. So I'm gonna drop a blue AR and a purple pump. And then some people also like to have a grappler in there, so I'll drop a grappler in there. So the thing is, this is not a regular button. This is called a conditional button, which means you can only press this button if you have a certain item in your inventory. So pick an item that you dropped in this team setting and inventory. Just pick the item that people most likely won't drop. I don't know why anyone in the world would drop their pump while they're 1v1ing, so I'm gonna use the pump. And what you're gonna want to do is get right on top of this button and then drop it right in front of it, and there we go. It gets sucked in, and now it shows a little pump, which means you need a pump in your inventory to press the button. By the way, there's a setting, I already told you to put it on no, but this setting, consume key items, make sure that's on no, because if you have it on yes, then it's gonna consume your pump and then you can't do it again. By the way, I assume you guys already have these settings done in my island because, you know, you're doing it in your 1v1 map, but for some reason you don't have these settings already set to this. There's two settings. Building can destroy environment, you want to have it on no, and environmental damage you also want to have it on, well, it's not called no, it's called off, but this on no and this on off. What that's gonna do is make sure that the barrels don't explode your map. You just want it to explode your free builds in your 1v1s. So once you're done with that, we can start it. I'll show you guys that it works. Actually, I want someone to 1v1 with me, so I'll put this on public. It's been a while and no one's joined me. Literally nobody wants to play with me. I have no friends. You know what? A little shameless plug. I'm gonna go on my Discord server. Yes, I have a Discord server. If you guys want to join it, we host customs there and we just talk there just for fun. If you want it, just go in the comments, ask for a Discord invite, and I'll invite you to the server. We do stuff like this. For example, I'm going into the server right now and I'm saying, yo, who wants to join my lobby for a video? Oh, hello, welcome to my world, Nova. I'm just doing a tutorial on how to make a reset builds button, so we're just gonna start the game and do like a 1v1 and then reset our builds. Alright, everybody, so as you can see, me and Nova are gonna do a quick 1v1. Wait, do you have guns? Alright, cool,
Yep.
cool. Alright, so we're gonna do a 1v1, and then we're gonna reset our builds.
No! I was stuck! I got stuck!
So as you can see, me and Nova just had our epic gamer 1v1, and now we're trying to knock it down, but like, bro, what the heck? It's not knocking down, bro. Oh my, bro, it's, and that's what I'm saying, bro. It's so complicated. But check it out, bro. We got a button, yo. What the heck, yo? Where'd it go, cuh? Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been Aja, oh, and Nova. Nova, would you like to say bye to the video?
Yeah, okay. And one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Use code AjaLuck in the item shop.
Bro, wise words, wise words. Bro, you almost got me arrested. You have to say hashtag ad. What are you doing?
Oh, hashtag ad. Okay.
Thank you.
Use code AjaLuck in the item shop.